fam? Welcome to George Reviews. I am the 80s Transformers fan, and today on George Reviews, we'll be taking a look at Super 7 Thundercats Ultimates Cats Lair. I haven't decided this is just going to be an unboxing yet. I mean, I'm probably sure it's in the title of the video when I edit it later. But definitely want to get it unboxed and take a look. We'll see how far it goes, how long the video runs. And I know, I said I was done with Super 7's Thundercats because of QC issues and shipping delays and all of that stuff. And in my videos, I was like, I'm not buying anymore. But who knew they were going to make the Cats Lair? I mean, like, who knew? We got the Thunder Tank, right? And I thought that was like the crowning achievement of the line. So, I kind of was out. But here we go with Cats Lair. And then the bad thing about it is, it came out around about the same time as G.I. Joe. Well, the crowdfunding launched about the same time as G.I. Joe Classified, Wild Bill, and the Dragonfly. So I had to choose between the two. And this is much more grand. They were kind of close in prices. This was more, but it, still close, 300, 600, whatever. So I was like, I can't get them both, and I can only get one. So I went with the Cats Lair, and I hope I'm not disappointed. I've seen some reviews on it. Hopefully I can do a better job, because a lot of those reviews are like snoozers. But I set myself up a failure. But anyway, here it is, and we're going to get it unboxed right now. Alright, obviously I'm in my dining room at home, and this is the only area I have and a table large enough to get this done, so you got to bear with me with the camera angles and all, but I'm going to try to get it in where you can see it. I saw a lot of videos where they talked about the boxes not having corner protectors. Obviously it's not on the outer boxes, but clearly corner protectors in here. And I've seen a lot of videos where the boxes, the outer boxes and the inner boxes were both damaged in transit, but mine looks to be intact so far. Got it upright, see if I can slide it out. My box looks completely intact. So far so good. And out of here. We got protectors on the back. These are taped on. It's kind of weird. Kind of looks like it's going to ruin the box. Okay, now the larger box is going to be more challenging because I don't have that much height between the table and the chandelier. But we're going to try to get it done. And try to get it done on camera for those who like that kind of thing. I know I love it. I like watching back the videos I do, and I love watching other people's unboxing videos. Man, this box is massive. I thought the Snake Mountain box was huge. And we got corner protectors, protective cardboard layer, and the Cat's Lair. I'm going to stop recording and just try to like dump it out. Okay, I try to use gravity, a few different techniques. Tried to save the outer packaging, but I'm going to cut it at the bottom and just push. Okay, I figured out why I can't get it out. The corner protectors won't allow it to slide forward, but I'm working too hard. If I just push, and here we go. I had to work smarter and not harder. See if I can stand it up without hitting the chandelier. Bam! Alright, here we go. Here are both boxes side by side, and I can just take a stroll past Cats Lair. And what's weird to me is why they repeat the same artwork on both boxes. Was all this originally intended to fit in one box and then they had to make two, or what? They should have like had two different artwork stylizations, or had one artwork continue on to the other box. We have box 2 of 2 and box 1 of 2 Ultimate Playset. Some assembly required, and Ultimates, ages 14, adult collector, requires 1.5V AA batteries times 3, not included, those cheap bastards. Gonna spin the giant box around, see if I can get it in. We have images of the product within. These look like prototype pictures. This will look like the real toy. Reverse of the box. Reverse of the box. Same image from the front. Again, they like, we're gonna get our money. Whoever did the art illustration for this, they're like, we're gonna get our money's worth. We slapped it on this box, that box, front and back. It shows you the Cats Lair open to gain access to the control room, yada yada yada. And the side panel on this side After we getting it all in, I'll do like a close-up or something later on in the unboxes and kind of cut it in there. We got Cats Lair, home and headquarters of the mighty Thundercats in this bitch. Okay, I added that part. Now for box 2. We went over the front of the box, went to the side of the box. Cats Lair home head, same thing. We got, alright, there is no tape on the top of the box. Nothing further in the box. And is it upside down? Right side up? Oh, I don't even know. Let's get it off either way. We have the head of the Cats Lair. Grab that first. Oh, that new toy smell and the poly bag. Here is the head of the Cats Lair. I know it's been said, pointed out, it even has the jaggedness of the one episode where they ripped the head off the Cat's Lair. That is very cool. Then we have 2 giant paws. I'm assuming there's a left and a right, and I'm assuming I have the right, the left. Yeah, the left paw. A lot of dust residue inside. And the equal opposite. Yeah, so just the head and paws in this box. Again, like that. Alright. I'm totally expecting this to be a nightmare to unbox on camera, so I think I'm going to just drop it on the floor and go from there. Interestingly packed. Table. Got the staircase combined with the tools and the claw shield and sort of omens. One of the tiers. This should have been included anyway. Tigra's lab set. We get the display for the claw and the sword. We get the key. Chair, a bunch of chairs for the table. 4 of them anyway. We have the display screen options right here. And for the smaller screens, the control center display options. And right here we have more chairs. I'm gonna break them. The remainder of the chairs. And what is this? We have the cannons that go underneath the paw. 2 of them. The little control center. Without the screens in place. And times 2. Trying to drop it. Times 2. And underneath here, we have the Cat's Lair. Hoping the bag would fall away. Here we have it. Man, this thing is huge. It is awesome. Alright, now for the assembly of Cats Lair. It shouldn't be much. It's just the paws, the staircase, and the head. So I'm going to cut these ties right here. So we can get the paw. I'm going to start with the right paw. It has this gear like molded into it, but doesn't actually do anything. As far as I can tell, it just slots from here onto here. Alright, as far as I can tell, it doesn't lock in. I'm really not sure. I'm going to keep going. Come over here. with this paw. I might learn something more with this one. And again, like, it doesn't lock in as far as I know. I think that's weird that it doesn't lock. Well, I'm gonna keep going, see what happens. And now for the staircase. Underneath the staircase is some accessories I showed earlier. And we'll plug this in. Hopefully this one locked. Yeah, that one locked in. Mostly locked in anyway. A little bit of a click. Oh, and most importantly, I'm gonna have to give them the proper head out of here. And we have some wires. We saw that earlier too, to connect the light source. And first, I guess we need to get to the batteries. 3 AA batteries are required. Okay, inside are 2 connector wires. It looks like there's 1 port, so maybe we got an extra one in case you break one, in case the cat head falls off. All right, here is the head of the cat for the lair. Here we go. Let me make sure I got it right before I put it on. And the head goes on a specific way. There's some grooves here, some grooves in there. I believe there we have it. Outside an assembly. I just can't believe these paws don't lock. It's kind of weird. Alright, the Cats Lair is fully assembled and it looks incredible. You got like some stone texturing on the head. I don't know if it's supposed to be made out of metal, but it looks like it has stone texturing. Eyes look great, has some texturing inside the mouth, like some ridges. We got weathering on the teeth. I guess it should be metal because we got like the paint scraped away or whatever. Then the coolest thing that I wasn't expecting, it has like this blue wash or detailing over the chest and the abdomen area. It looks fantastic. It even comes down to the doors and the stairs. Up here, a lot of people have talked about and complained about the weathering on these metal pieces right here and right here. This one opens to reveal dual cannons that point down. And this is kind of drooping. That's a little bit disappointing. And over here we have a secondary gun or double gun. And this one stays up better. And also you can see the weathering here. The cat symbol right here is fantastic. I can't wait to see it lit up. It's 3-dimensional. It's a black flat paint over the red translucent paint with some gunmetal gray right here. Gunmetal gray around the neck. Looks great. And here we have what was a little bit controversial. A lot of people complained about the doors. They should be set lower, and this smaller door should be up here. Throwing a pic. But we can open up the doors and take a peek inside Cat's Lair before we open up the bag. You can see the cat. And down here we have, I think this is the Thundrilium chamber. Right here it has its own separate, like a darker gray wash. We lift it up and we can see the power source for the Thundercats Lair. Looks pretty darn cool. And then the staircases and the paw, they lift up. We don't have any accessories inside yet, but 2 different guns go here, and we are going to go for that next. Okay, as far as accessories for the front of the Cat's Lair, we get these 2 cannons that go underneath the paw. And they are identical cannons. They're made of a light blue and gray plastic. There's some red plastic right here. We get the Thundercats logo. It's very well done. Here on the reverse of it, we get a control panel. We get some handles to operate the cannon. We get a targeting screen right here. Looks like this one is a little bit warped. Okay, I have Tigra and Chitara manning the cannons. And Tigra has a very firm grip onto the controls because he has larger hands. Chitara, I don't have her open hands out, her more open hands. I have her staff gripping hands, and they really don't want to go around there and want to damage her hands, but it still looks like she's holding on to it. She still pulls it off. One thing that bothers me about this really is like the Canon, not the camera's picking up, it's just they're both leaning that way, which is kind of odd. And they should have put these things, they rotate up and down, like who's getting shot right here. I guess if you put it on top of the cliff or put it somewhere else. And over here, it would have been cool if they had put it on like a swivel base. Down here, where as it stands, it just sits in here. At least that's where they have it sitting on the box in the promos. But it's been so cool. I guess it does kind of swivel on its own right here, actually. Okay, we got the Cats Lair turned around. We're going to get it open and get to the inside, the actual play set of the Cats Lair. That is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to start by focusing on the main floor, the control center of the tower, and I want to show it without the furniture or the other fixtures put into place. So let's take a look at the space that's already there. They have molded in and painted the detailing of the control panel very, very well. They kind of reuse red and yellow a lot. They could have put like a blue switch and a green switch in there, but it looks fantastic. You got these little levers that don't move. You got a switch right here. Then you have this Thundercats logo right here that doubles as the power source for the screen, which is awesome. Now I don't have the little slide panels in here to show you whatever the different things that the Thundercats can take a look at. I'm going to do that a little bit later, but just to show you the open space that we have a control panel back here. It's molded but unpainted, and we have a secondary one over here. They are different but similar. Coming down to the second level of Cats Lair is the reverse side of the main door. It's not a lot of space in here, but you can get some figures on here. We're going to check it out a little bit later. In this one corner over here, we have 3 monitors, nothing on them. They appear to be just off, or there are no stickers to actually go on there, so they're just off. And over here is different but the same. Some molded in detail in there, and we have the balcony that we saw when we opened up the entrance from the other side. And dropping down to the final level of the inside of the Cats Lair, we have the chamber for the weapons right there, and we have the entryways or exitways underneath the cat's paw. Not a lot really going on there. I guess you get a couple figures in here like they're coming from a room back there or something like that. And the same equal opposite on this side. A little bit of space back there, but really nowhere to go. Like the molded in rocks on this little area right here. Looks very good. Now over here on the inner wall, we get some molded in compartments, some hoses and things like that. Looks very Star Wars-ish, like on Hoth somewhere without the snow. And this is supposed to be Tigra's lab area over here. And the caddy corner right here to Panthro's workbench where you put the weapons and accessories on the wall just there. Come over here to the right side of the open panel that gives you a little bit of more play space. This kind of reminds me of the council chambers from Neverending Story, or maybe even Queen Amidala's palace on Naboo from Star Wars The Phantom Menace. This is where the council table is supposed to go for the Thundercats, and they can sit around. So speaking of the council table, let's get this thing loaded up and see how it looks. Alright, we get 2 of these computer control centers that go on the sides of the main control center. This is straight out of the cartoon. Here's the second one. They are identical. The buttons and things are all the same. And we get 1 chair for the main control center. Right here we get Tigra's laboratory or Tigra's lab table. It is 1 solid piece of molded plastic with the beakers and the vials glued to the tables, I guess so you don't lose them or they become a choking hazard. I don't know, but they look to be very well done. We'll take a better look at them a little bit later. Then we get some tools for what is supposed to be Panthro's workbench. It's just like a little workspace on the wall and a small table. We get 4 different tools. Don't ask me what these damn things are. I don't know. I know the big one is a saw. And look like some type of weird pair of pliers right here. And I don't know what this thing is. And we get like a gas can or a blowtorch or some type of igniter right here. Up next we get the chamber for the Sword of Omens and the claw shield. This is just a little turnabout. Here is the resting place for the claw shield. Nice velvety bottom. And here's that claw shield. I think an unnecessary inclusion, because if you collect Thundercats, you have plenty of claw shields from Lion-O. Same thing with the miniature sword. We've gotten it like 100 times. I don't know if it's exactly the same, but we've gotten it. It's repetitive and redundant. It's crazy that this is actually a tier. And rotating it one more time, you get more weapon storage for your Thundercats accessories, pre-existing Thundercats accessories. You can put whatever fits in here, but in the middle, I'm pretty sure it's molded to fit Cheetara's staff. Lastly, we get the Thundercats Council Chambers table. Nice molded in Cats logo on the top. And then we get some chairs to go around the table so our Thundercats can have a meeting. And we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chairs. 7. Alright, now to add the monitors for the computers. They're double-sided. This one has a readout. This one has a diagram of Cats Lair. Oh, we got Hook Mountain, another little diagram, and Mumm-Ra's lair. I like this one. I like this one. I am going to add this one to the right side, and I think I'm going to go with Hook Mountain because it's printed. It's a picture straight from the cartoon, so we're going to put this over here, and bam, there we go. And we get an extra one in case you lose it. Right now we have the slides for the main computer. I can't wait to get this thing open and check it out. Alright, I think we get like 4 slides. We get the Thundercats symbol. Lionel's calling the Thundercats. We get like a diagram or a map. And we get Hook Mountain. This is very, very nice. And Mumm-Ra's pyramid. Very cool. And this looks like the prison planet. I think it is. But I'm going to go with the Cats symbol first. Check this one out. It comes covered in a plastic film, I guess to keep it from being damaged or scratched or whatever, but here we go. Then you take the slide of your choice. I'm going with Mumm-Ra's pyramid. I got thumbprints all on it. Use the glossy side facing you. And then there's some slits that I'm probably not getting into the shot that it slides down into, and just close it up. And fire it up. Alright, the last thing that comes with this set that I need to unpackage is the key of Thunder. It appears to be hard plastic painted with 2 different types of gold. Thundercat logo painted in jewel, painted in red, the same red as the Thundercat logo. And it has a faux leather attachment to it. I don't know if you meant to put it on your wrist or hang it from something, I don't know. But hopefully, since we got this, eventually down the line, if they make Mumm-Ra's pyramid, maybe Mumm-Ra's pyramid will come with the Book of Omens so we can actually use the key. That would be so cool. But this was the early bird special, like for if they've met so many orders in a certain amount of time, you got this as the early bird special. All right, before I do the parade of figures, I just want to take a closer look at the lab table. This was tier 1. There were 2 tiers included with Cats Lair, and it only achieved one of the goals, and this was it. We get Tigra's lab set, which I think should have just been included. Why make this a tier? I mean, there's not a lot going on. I only remember it from one episode specifically, and I can't remember the name of the episode, but here's a little pic of it. It was a little bit more detailed, but this still looks good. This is kind of impressive for what it is. Everything's glued down, obviously. We got some blue painted liquid in this beaker right here, and on the back side we have some different colors right here. And we get like the little sink faucet thing, which is nice. We don't get a sink, we get the faucet but not the sink. Some type of little cord on the table. I'm not really sure what that is, but this is pretty cool on its own, but it should have been included. And because this is just pretty cool, to sweeten it up, we get another claw shield and another sword of omens, the small sword with the eye closed, and it fits right in here. It does not go on your Lionel action figure hand, but it will clip onto his belt or waist. And if you're collecting this line, if you have Cats Lair, if you have interest in Cats Lair, you most likely have Lion-O and the claw shield. And if you're like most collectors, you have Lion-O in spades. I mean, he came in red, he came in frostbit, he got like a second reissue. Like, Lion-O is out there, and for this kind of to be a tier, this is very weak. especially considering they hoard out the Lion-O mold so many times. And speaking of hoarding out the Lion-O mold so many times, the second tier that was not met was like an Astro form of Lion-O. And to have given us so many Lion-Os, that was a very, very weak tier. And it's not surprising that it was not met. I mean, it was just awful. Super 7 in this one area could have done better. Alright, now for the fun part. I have my Thundercats in the playset. I got them sitting at the council chamber with Mandora sitting in. And it looks really, really good. Especially if you don't break the illusion and shoot outside of the wall. Coming over here to Panthro at the workbench. And next to him is Tigra in his lab, supposed lab. And again, if I keep the camera angle tight and not break the illusion up there, not break the illusion, they look like separate rooms. Now for the main floor where the monitors are, I have Linkso, Chitara, and Lion-O taking a look at what's going on Third Earth. And man, this thing looks fantastic. I'm going to build it up with a few more figures. See how many figures can actually stand in here. I got 8 figures total. I might be able to squeeze one more without being outside of the playset. That's pretty impressive. Now for the second layer, because I don't have a lot of my Thundercats open, I got some Master of the Universe Classics, which share like the same body, helping us out to fill up the second layer. And this is just mostly space. I got about, what, 12 guys up here. And now for the final level, I got 7 guys sitting on the final level without being outside the playset. And that's pretty impressive. If my math is good, you can put 25 figures or more into the playset without them being out on your table or on your floor or wherever you're displaying it. All right, taking a look at our Cats Lair from the back with the lair closed, we get the rocky landscape on the side of the mountain. I got Lion-O up there and Mumm-Ra. Some nice molded in detailing, some nice shading and paintwork on the back down here, and a couple figures down here just for scale. Now swinging back to the front, fully open Cats Lair displayed out with my figures out here. I really need to open up more Thundercats to get them out here. I didn't think this thing was going to be this epic, and it truly is money well spent. I got the Thunder Take out here, Panthro, Mandora on the cliff, Lion-O in the doorway. This is so awesome. Money well spent. Alright, switching to dark mode, I got most of the lights out, but not all of the lights to show you the light up feature from the eyes to the emblem in the chest. And this thing just is incredible. I'm telling you, incredible. Alright, it's time to get the Cats Lair, the size up and the rundown. First up, representing Marvel Legends in HasLab is the Planet Eater himself, Galactus. Next up, and fellow HasLab and fellow Planet Eater from the world of the Transformers is Unicron. Now, representing Master Universe Classics and hitting the playsets is Castle Grayskull, followed up by Snake Mountain from Super 7. And here we are, full spread. Playset versus playset head to head. I think Snake Mountain has it by a peak, but the better playset is definitely Cats Lair. Alright, now time to wrap up this huge review. I originally wanted to make this a 3-part review, like the unboxing, the setup, and then put the figures on it. But I think I can get it all in under a half hour. I'm going to try anyway if I can stop rambling right now. Absolutely love this thing. If you know me as a reviewer and a toy collector, I absolutely love grandeur. And this thing is grand. It's bigger than any playset that I have or anything I can think of except for the USS flag. Now, do I recommend it? Yes, absolutely. This thing was made to order from Super 7. They always say that. But Big Bad Toy Store seems to always get some of what they have that's supposed to be made to order. And you can get this off Big Bad Toy Store for $1,000. It retailed from Super 7 for $700. I think a little bit of tax on it. So about $700. And a lot of people were selling it online for upwards of $1,400. Then Big Bad got it. It came down to $1,000. But those guys are going to charge you at least $100 to $150 shipping. So Big Bad is kind of making what, like $100 off of this, maybe a little bit more. They charge like $7 shipping. So I think they're eating the shipping cost. And if you don't have it and you enjoyed the review and you're thinking about getting it, the 80s Transformers fan highly recommends this thing. I love everything about it. The only downside I had, and I saw a lot of people say, I had breakage on the latch on the back side that holds it shut. And I saw some other reviewers and I saw some comments online that says that thing breaks. But it doesn't affect the displayability or the ability to close it at all, because there's 2 latches, one at the top, one at the bottom. So that was the only downside. Super 7 seems to always have a little bit of QC issues, but everything else was amazing. I love the little slides for the screen. I love the light up feature. If I had a wish list, this is my little real quick wish list. I wish the light up feature in the chest could actually like broadcast onto the walls or like a flashlight, like the bat signal or like the Thundercats signal. And then the eyes, I wish they were like telescopic, like in the cartoon. They like kind of searchlights or whatever. That would have been cool. But that's just a wish list. And my big wish list is I wish they had made a small thunder tank that can go under this paw. It didn't have to be functional. It didn't have to roll, but you know, just a little plastic thing just for the aesthetics that it could sit under the paw, because that was like the main thing about these big paws. The thunder tank would just roll out of there. So I wish they could have gave us like just an empty shell, didn't have to fit a figure, anything like that. That would have been so awesome. But for what they did give us, this thing is absolutely amazing. I feel like I got my money's worth. And really, that's all I got for you guys. I want to thank you all for watching another episode of the George Reviews. The reviews where every toy has a story. Thundercats, ho!